Okay, we got the dogs back. It took a little bit. All right, so no, he's not supposed to be either. So as you can see, he's starting to actually lose it. He's really acting a douche. So this is very bad behavior, and next time I'm probably going to be stricter with him, because he's really acting quite bad. There's a lot of passive aggressiveness. So I'm going to ask him for that trot. If he needs to run, I'll let him run, but we're going to work and run. So this is what I mean. And I've only had him for 2 months. Please remember that. My mare's a lot more trained to be able to turn on and off. And this is what they used for war horses. Well, one of the war horses is a famous story of a war horse. I'm actually trotting circles right now, so you're aware of what we're doing. I'm going to ask for circles. This famous war horse was thought to be a really bad war horse because he would act awful, crazy, like just, you didn't think this horse could go to war. It was a general's horse. So, but what they didn't know is that this horse could turn on and off, and that and a word from his owner that he would stop acting crazy and get broke. So that's what I aim to train my horses, to be like that. And he's obviously not like that, not even at this moment. And he's acting probably the worst I've ever seen him. Oh. Like I said, he is a project. He may not look like it and act like it. There's a lot of rough edges on this guy. He's in like a rough edge octagon. He's no square or triangle with rough edges. No, he's an octagon with all the rough points there are. But it's very hidden, and he looks like a very fawn shape from afar. But he's not. He's a little star. And he's very rough. Very, very rough indeed. So that goes to show that you never really know a horse till you've ridden it more than a few times. So we're going to walk back on the road today, which I normally don't do. I normally don't walk back home on the road. But we are going to today. Because I'm really going to do everything I can to make him want to. Like, I'm going to put him in the worst circumstance of we're on a straight road home, and I'm going to make him walk it. And that's going to make him very antsy and very hard to not want to run home. So I'm really going to throw at him like I'm really going to throw at him a very big quiz, you could say. Now here he's running, so I'm going to go hope. I'm really going to correct him in that moment. And I'm going to really back him up. And I'm going to ask him to keep going back because I'm sitting very heavy right now. I'm being very serious. Ho, back up. Ho, back up. Ho, back up. Easy, easy. Now I'm going to ask him to stand. I'm going to pet him. And I'm really going to ask him to be like, that's what we're learning right now. I need you to obey to that. And he's breaking a sweat right now, as you can see. And he's really overexerting himself for no apparent reason. Over that he is more barn sour than I actually thought. I know. He is much more barn sour than I originally thought. So,
way more than whiskey.
He's being a real butt right now, and this is unacceptable. So, I'm going to hold him here. And when we get home, a great barn sour exercise, we're going to trot in circles by the barn. There you go. And there he took off. So, automatic back up, sitting heavy. Let's try this again. We're not a racehorse right now. Easy. Hey. So he gets a little caught up in the backing up and wants to go up instead of backwards, which is where he starts breaking out. A bit rearing. He hops a little. It's not ideal. You can walk on. Good boy. We're not a racehorse. Easy. 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 Now, this is a problem that I don't really deal with my mare. She is not barn sour. She is actually quite the opposite. She is very trail sour. She will run to a trail. She understands we're taking one. So even though it feels like he's walking and it might look like it to you, he's actually trotting. His beat is that of a T, which is very nice for high class dressage moves, if you will. But it's not ideal when I'm just trying to walk home. So right now he's what I like to call Peruvian pasofinoing. Pasofinoing. He's pasofinoing. He's doing the Spanish walk. Very popular thing with Spanish horses. So he's really pasofinoing, and I'm not going to fight him right now because I'm going to pick a good place and time to fight, because he is walking very slow, but it's not a walk. He's actually running underneath himself. I know he is. I feel it. But you know what? Sometimes you got to take advantage of a situation. And this is kind of a hit or miss. Normally with your horse, you want to focus a lot on this, not just to a walking beat. But like I say, I train very different. I'm going to take advantage of the situation and try and teach him what I taught my mare. I'm going to encourage this behavior. I'm going to encourage it, and I'm going to give it a command. So maybe we can do this on command one day. It's very pleasant. It's a bit of a jig jog almost. I'm going to sit very back. Oh. And sometimes when you encourage this behavior, it makes them feel a bit more calmer, because now they're like, oh, we're turning this into work, huh? I'm going to pet him, give him a command, walk. Now I'm going to give him the command, ask him to do it, which is very easy because he is excited. I'm going to give him a release when he does it right. Good boy. And as you can see, he's actually acting calmer. It's a good workout for his brain. And it'll be a nice fancy new command. I'm going to give him a release. I'm going to let him run. And I'm going to ask for a ho. Ho. Release it. Correct the behavior a little. Give it a command. Now, like I said, I've never seen anybody train this way. Right now he is walking. So I'm not sure if it's something that's going to work with every horse. It's what I do with my horses. But my mare did turn out okay. I mean, she's great, but she's also not the best at times. But I think that's part of her personality. But as you can see, he's actually walking now. He's not breaking out into a T. So you have to walk this very weird balance of, you have to know this horse. You have to have ridden this horse many times, which I have him. And you have to kind of know where you can make this balance stay level. Because I'm not sure if you were to do this with another horse, it would turn out the way it's turning out now, that he's walking a lot more sane. See, now he's not breaking out into the run. I'm not constantly holding him back. Ho, ho, ho. I'm also going to quiz him a bit. Ho. By just randomly pulling out the ho and back up while he's walking with just my body, and then I'll give him rein. Ho, ho. So, see, ho, ho. Good. Now you can walk on. Easy. Now, sometimes when you have a horse who's being very passive-aggressive, like he was being not too long ago, the best thing you can do is let him walk on a loose rein. It really relaxes my mare, and it'll help her calm down, which is a very scary thing. But sometimes with these horses is that when you pick up these reins, they're thinking we're going, we're working, they get more wound up. And while this loose rein means we're calming down. And that's just basic dressage training when you're asking for that loose walk. And it really helps encourage. So as you saw, I'm going to go ahead and piece out the entire scenario we just had, now that he's walking calmly and sanely. We came out of the trail. He's very excited. So I repeatedly asked him to go backwards. That was obviously not working. So once we came out of the trail, we did circles. Still not working. He was still acting crazy. So he was giving me this lovely little, I think you call it a paffle. And I gave it a command. Asked for him to engage. Made it work, what he was doing. And now that work is not very fun because I'm forcing him to do it. And automatically, right after we did that, I gave it a command. I asked for it. He gave it to me because that's what he's been giving me. He's really relaxed. So it's a very strange way of training. I've never seen anybody train that way. It's how I trained a lot of the cool things I do on my mare, is that she was giving me a situation where she wouldn't do it. Like, say, one day she was acting really calm and she wouldn't do anything at all. She wouldn't even move. So I went that day and I stood on top of her butt. You know, and since then she's been very broke to standing on top of her. That's a good example. I did the same thing with rearing, but that was obviously, don't do that, you're gonna regret it decision. The rearing, I would say, is my biggest failure on her. That's her only problem, is that she started rearing and really enjoys it. I made it into a command. She'll do it on command, and we're slowly now trying to break that habit, because both me and her would rear all the time. She loved it, I loved it, but then you would put somebody else on her and she would be like, let's go up. So that's one of the biggest issues I have to fix with her. But as you saw, he's walking very sanely now. And I tried many different things. And as you can see, this is what I mean by he's not very barn sour. The mare is going home. He's still walking. This is our house, by the way. I have no control right now. I didn't ask him for anything. So this is what I mean by I don't really understand his barn sourness at all. Because he's done this before and we walked the entire way back home. My mare is already going. She's going home. She turned home, didn't she? And now he's not wanting to walk really quickly through the cinder block walls. So that's what I mean by his barn sourness doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't understand it because he just so easily walked away from the house like it was nothing. So that's why I mean that he's not very barn sour, because a barn sour horse would have turned knowing this is the way we turn every time we go home. He didn't do that. He walked by it. So that's a bit of a mystery of me. I don't think he's very barn sour. I think he just uses the excuse of we're going home as a reason to get very excited. See, now all of a sudden we're being sour to his buddy. I swear, I can't with this horse. So once again, I'm going to ask him again. I'm going to ask him for that command right before I get off. Since he gave it to me all the way home, I think it'd be fun to do it this way. This is lovely. Easy. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Oh. That's what I mean. I always back him up before I get off him. Very important thing I taught him. But he worked up a good sweat. He exercised well today. Learned quite a bit. But yeah, it was a very interesting day, I must admit. Hopefully it all came out well and good on the camera. So yeah. I finished with a little pile of, well, she didn't get any because she got a whole bucket of alfalfa pellets and water while we were gone. They all get a little peanut hay pile. All the horses that worked. She got a buttload of alfalfa, my goodness. So cute. And this was the fit for the ride. What do you think? Very nice, isn't it? But anywho, I used all these things in case you were wondering. I have a fanny pack that has a map and it has the dog beeper and buzzer for my phone. For safety. Can't have that without my parents yelling at me. More safety. And obviously my emergency brakes and steering system, because he shouldn't have to rely on this, but I have it. What am I gonna go do? Ride tackless? One day maybe.